Green data on NFP as well as CPI rejuvenated DXY. What I think that this week we might see that DXY will try to fly, as we see that the market has consolidated for a long period of time. All the data has come out to be positive for DXY except PPI. So let's see what kind of trading opportunity in this upcoming week we have in all the instrument that you can see on the list. It's not a bit longer, but still I'll put a timestamp in the description area. Guys and girls, make sure that you stick till the end of this weekly Forex forecast. As you have seen in our previous weekly Forex forecast, most of the pairs did exactly according to the analysis. Now, third week of the month in January, we see that volume is coming up in the market as holiday season is over. So I will be looking at one by one to see how we can trade. Before I begin this weekly Forex forecast, make sure that you smash the like button and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done yet. With that being said, let's begin this week's weekly Forex forecast. Okay guys and girls, so let's begin with first of all DXY. As usual, as DXY will give us clear direction about most of the USD pairs including gold, and then we'll jump onto one by one to see how we can trade including indices as well as WTI as well we'll be looking at. So first of all, looking at higher time frame, starting with the monthly. Why? Because monthly, weekly, higher time frame will give us clear direction, removing all the noise from the lower time frame, and then we'll be jumping on the lower time frame to see where we can find the entry opportunity. Looking at the monthly on DXY, as you can see, this is the monthly impulse on DXY has come to this monthly support level with this back-to-back 2 months of drop. DXY, after gathering liquidity this month, initially we have seen a bounce. Now this bounce is a bullish move. What I think that this month, after a pullback, we could see that DXY is remaining bullish, as it is a historically bull market. So third week of the month, what I think that as the market already has made a move, has come down for a pullback, this week we might see initial pullback and then continuation to the upside to fill that long week on the monthly time frame. Now looking at the weekly chart, we see that this week there wasn't volatility much. As you can see, this is a very narrow weekly doji has been created, which in fact a sign of breakout, as after the consolidation you can expect for the price to break out of the structure. Now you can see this is a weekly big bull candle followed by a narrower doji that could lead the other one to go up and to fill that zone here. So this week, what I think that initial pullback and then continuation to the upside, as there is a narrow weekly doji. If we draw this level, what I think that before bouncing up, we could see the price breaking that low to gather the liquidity and then to continue to rise to the upside. So initial drop and then continuation to the upside can expect it. Now looking at the daily chart on DXY, we can see that the market is gathering liquidity from this support. This is a big long wick doji, which is the NFP candle, and that candle can be considered as a reference point for both support and resistance. As you can see, this is the daily close, also bullish. Whenever the price is coming to the support, the bulls are buying. What I think that with the new market opening, we might see initial drop to the support and then continuation to the upside to create a new higher high. So looking at the intraday perspective, we see that DXY here is the long wick candle, and what I think that DXY, we might see that initial drop, and that drop could lead the price to break this low, which is an important level of support, and from that zone we can expect DXY to move back up to the resistance level. This is what we will be expecting on DXY. Initial drop, gather liquidity, and then break to the upside to the resistance level. So any kind of pullback to the support level can give us suitable entry on DXY. Initial drop, later bullish move that is expected. Now based on that, let's start with GBPUSD to see what kind of opportunity we may have this week. Looking at the monthly chart on GBPUSD, from the monthly we can see that GBPUSD, there is a big bullish monthly candle followed by another monthly middleman. Now this month the price has dropped to this monthly support, and with that monthly support we saw that the price had a bounce to the upside. So let's look at the weekly chart to see how the market is doing. Now from the weekly we can see that from the support level there is a long wick doji, followed by this week we saw a very narrow candle, and with that narrow candle, as we are expecting initial weakness on DXY and then to go back up, we might see that as this is a green candle with a long wick at the top, we might see GBPUSD again bouncing up and then coming down to test this support level. Now looking at the daily chart on GBPUSD, we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily middleman here. The price is respecting this resistance multiple times. Whenever the price is reaching that level, we see that there is a long wick. What I think that with the weakness on DXY that we are expecting, we might see initial bounce on GBPUSD on the lower time frame, and then we can expect for the price to come down. And what I think that GBPUSD, we might see that this market is ranging in this level for a bit more extended period of time before moving to the upside again. So looking at the intraday perspective, where we see that this is where the market gather liquidity, this is a very significant level of resistance on GBPUSD. I will be waiting for initially the price to go up and break this resistance level. Any break of this level can give us suitable entry for this potential downside on GBPUSD. Now let's look at euro dollar. Let's see, looking at the monthly chart on euro dollar, we can see that from the monthly perspective there is a bull candle followed by previous months also a very long bullish candle. As this month you can see initially the price has dropped, and this is the monthly resistance. What I think that this week we might see initial pullback and then continuation to the downside. Now looking at the weekly chart on euro dollar, previous week a big long wick candle with a healthy body. This week, as we saw that there wasn't much volatility, and as a result we saw a long wick doji. What I think that this week we might see, as with the initial weakness on DXY, we can expect initial strengthening on euro dollar, and any bounce to the upside can give us suitable selling opportunity on euro dollar. Now if we look at the daily chart, we see that from the daily time frame, this is the impulse on the daily, and then consolidation, quite a few days of consolidation. And with that consolidation, what we can expect on euro dollar for the price to initially go up to retest this level and then to drop down. As we see the price has broken the structure, we can expect to drop, and I think that euro dollar may drop to this support level before bouncing back up again. So if we look at the intraday perspective, here we see that euro dollar is forming long wick candles, quite a few liquidity grab here, and with that liquidity grab, what we can expect on euro dollar for the price to go ahead and retest this level and then continue to drop. As we saw a big drop, a consolidation pattern forming series of lower high here with a long wick candle, we can expect euro dollar to drop down again to this long-term support level before moving back up again. So euro dollar, we will be waiting for potential selling opportunity as soon as we find suitable entry. Now let's look at dollar CAD to see how the price is doing. Looking at the monthly chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the monthly, dollar CAD is a long-term bullish market. This is a huge impulse on the monthly, and we saw that quite a few months of consolidation, and from this level dollar CAD had made this big move, followed by a pullback to this monthly support level. And with that monthly support, we see that dollar CAD, after the monthly retest, we saw this month's initial bounce, which is a signal of potential bullish move on dollar CAD. Any kind of pullback will give us suitable entry for this potential bullish move on USD-CAD. Now if we look at the weekly chart on dollar CAD, we can see that there's a drop followed by a pullback, another drop, followed by, we see that back-to-back 2 weeks of bullish move, giving potential for further upside on dollar CAD. Now looking at the daily chart, we see that from the daily time frame, this is the daily doji, and we can see here is quite a few days the price has broken the low and then got rejected. So if we look at these daily candles, we see the dollar CAD basically gathering liquidity from the support, forming an inverted head and shoulder on dollar CAD, and I will be waiting for a pullback as like DXY and then to give us entry opportunity. And I think the dollar CAD is forming a potential inverted head and shoulder for this further upside, and with that bounce we could see that dollar CAD is going back up to this resistance before dropping down again for a long-term trend. Now looking at the intraday perspective, we see the dollar CAD, the price in this level quite a few times. Whenever the price coming down, the bulls are buying and forming series of higher low in that area. So previous session we saw a bullish engulf around dollar CAD with crossover of 10 and 20 EMA. I will be waiting for initial drop, and I think the dollar CAD could break to this level, to this support, and then we can expect it to bounce back up. And from this level, as soon as we will find suitable entry, we'll look for going long on dollar CAD with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at AUDUSD. Looking at the monthly chart on AUDUSD. So from the monthly, we can see that AUDUSD back-to-back 2 months, a very strong bullish move, followed by this month from this resistance level. We have seen that a drop to the downside, and we could see that the price is keep pushing down to create a new lower low. Now if we look at the weekly chart on AUDUSD, we can see that from the weekly time frame, there is an impulse followed by a correction, an impulse correction. What I think that AUDUSD, we might see initial pullback and further downside as the price has reached this resistance level. We could see that this market is coming down to break this support level. Now looking at the daily chart on AUDUSD, we can see that from the daily, after this big drop, whenever the price going up, forming long wick candle and getting rejected, which is a sign that AUDUSD might drop further to the support level, and this is where we will be waiting for selling opportunity on AUDUSD. Now if we look at the intraday perspective on AUDUSD, whenever the price is reaching that level, as you can see, this is a big long candle and the price has reached that resistance, and from that zone we saw that AUDUSD has created a long wick candle, which is a sign of further downside on AUDUSD. As soon as we will find suitable entry on AUDUSD, we look for going short to this level with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at gold, and then we will be looking at yen pairs. Guys, make sure that you stick till the end of this weekly forex forecast. Now looking at the monthly chart on gold, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is the monthly candle on gold, and where we see this is a resistance level. From the monthly, we have seen that with the market open first 2 weeks initial drop, and we have seen significant pullback. What I think that this week we might see that initial drop, and then we can expect gold to go back up to the monthly resistance. It might try to break this monthly high or the monthly resistance before dropping down again. Now if we look at the weekly chart on gold, we can see that previous week there is a long wick doji. Now this long wick doji is quite significant as it has long wick at the bottom and also wick at the top, and I think that the price might remain in between the support and resistance. So let's see now daily the chart to see how the price is doing. Now from the daily, we saw last day of trading week a long wick, a huge bullish candle. Now this bullish candle, if we look at, there is a no wick at the bottom, which is a high bullish candle. With that bullish candle, what I think that after initial pullback, we could see that gold is bouncing back up again, forming a potential inverted head and shoulder and going up to create a new higher high. Now looking at the intraday perspective to see how the price is doing, if you look at here, this is the support level from intraday time frame, and with that support we see that gold in the past, this is the support here, created this huge move, and we saw from this support the market had a reaction, and we saw that the price again has broken that support, got rejected. So this support is being respected. As a result, we have seen a big bounce. We can expect for the price to come down for a deeper pullback. As you can see, this is a big bull candle, and below this level there is a liquidity. As the price moves from liquidity to liquidity, we can expect for gold to come down, to drop down below this level to this liquidity zone, and then to go back up to create a new higher high. So what I think that this week we might see initial drop to the support level. As you can see, there is a 20 EMA, and also this is a very significant level of support and liquidity zone, and from this level we can expect gold to remain bullish. Now looking at the 1 hour chart to see how gold is doing. Now in this 1 hour chart, we saw that there was a big bull move followed by a pullback, and huge movement has come down for a deeper pullback. That pullback might remain a bit more deeper, and I think that with the market open we can expect initial drop on gold. That support could be a very important area where we can look for gold to give us suitable entry opportunities. So this is where I will be waiting for potential buying opportunity on gold. Any drop with the market open can give us suitable entry for this bullish move to take this trend to the upside with a high probability trade setup with our students. If you want to trade all of them, gold, euro, dollar, GBPUSD, GBPJPY and dollar yen, you can join us today. Link below this video in the description area. Visit the website and click join now button. Then you will be able to access all the strategy that we are trading, as well as all the trade that I am opening. I do share in the group. So with that said, let's look at now on GBPJPY. Let's see what kind of opportunity we have. Looking at the monthly chart on GBPJPY, we can see that from the monthly, this is a long-term bullish market. If we look at the historical perspective on GBPJPY, we can see that this is a huge move followed by a correction and another move. So the price is maintaining typical bullish market structure. Now previous months we have seen a big drop to this monthly support level, and from this support this month, once the market open, we have seen initial bounce to the upside on GBPJPY. So far significant movement, and I think that this week we might see a bit more pullback and then continuation to the upside, as it is a long-term bullish market. Now looking at the weekly chart on GJ, we can see that from the weekly there is a big bullish engulfer followed by this week doji, and that doji is also a bullish continuation pattern, and I think that in the market open, we could see that initial drop or pullback. So if we draw this potential support level that GJ might be respecting, we can expect for those level for the price to come down to retest and then to continue to rise to the upside. Now looking at the daily chart on GBPJPY, we can see that this is the daily impulse followed by a very narrow correction, and we see another impulse on GBPJPY. What I think that GJ, we could see that the price coming down to retest this level or even breaking that low before bouncing to the upside. So we still could see initial drop on GJ for this potential retest to this level. We could see a bit more deeper pullback, and I think that the price might break this daily swing low before dropping, bouncing back to the upside. So looking at the intraday perspective here, the price is showing bearish pattern. If you look at this couple of sessions candle, a strong red candle with a very narrow candles signaling potential bearish pressure on GBPJPY. And with that move, what I think that the price either breaking this low, bouncing back up, or even it might drop below this level, as there is a high liquidity in that area. From 182.76, we could see the GJ again bouncing back up to the long-term resistance level. As we can expect further drop on GJ, this is the lower time frame where I will be waiting for selling opportunity. If we see suitable entry to this level or to this level, and once the market has given a suitable bullish entry opportunity, look for going long on GBPJPY with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at dollar yen. Let's see what kind of opportunity currently we have. Looking at the monthly chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the monthly perspective also dollar yen is a long-term bullish market. If you look at this drop on dollar yen to this support level, and we have seen from this level the price was creating series of higher high and higher low, followed by back-to-back 2 months of drop again on dollar yen to this monthly support level. And from that support we can expect dollar yen to have a bounce to create a new higher high. As this first 2 weeks on dollar yen, we saw that initial bounce, which is a sign of further upside. This week we can expect dollar yen to come down for a pullback initially and then to bounce back up again. Now looking at the weekly chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the weekly, from this support level, there is a big bullish candle followed by a very narrow doji. This week we could see that dollar yen from this level, after a retest, this could bring this weekly low, and from this level we can expect dollar yen to bounce back up. Now looking at the daily chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the daily time frame, this is an impulse followed by a correction, and we saw that the price again coming down for a deeper pullback. Now this is where, if you look at, this is a support level on dollar yen, and what I think that dollar yen, we could see that a break of this low can give us suitable entry on the lower time frame. Now if you look at the intraday perspective, where we see that dollar yen is forming long wick candle, which also gathering liquidity from the top. What I think that with the market open, we could see that dollar yen is dropping down to this liquidity zone, and from this level we can expect dollar yen to go back up to create a new higher high. So this is where we will be waiting for potential entry opportunity on dollar yen. As soon as you will find, we'll look for going long with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at WTI. Let's see what kind of price action it is making. Looking at the monthly chart, now from the monthly we can see the dollar yen back-to-back 3 months huge bearish candle. This month so far, initially we have seen a bullish move. Again the sellers selling this market. We could see again further downside as the bulls not getting enough strength. We might see that long-term trend is being respected. Now looking at the weekly chart, we see that after previous weekly bull move this week, after breaking the high, again we saw that there was a drop from a red long wick candle. What I think that this week we might see initial bounce and then continuation to the downside on WTI. Now looking at the daily chart, we see that there is a long wick pin bar on WTI, and with that long wick pin bar, what we can expect for this price to initially go ahead and retest. I think that it might retest 50% of this long wick or even high of the daily long wick, and then we can expect it to drop down, as this is an important area of value, as we could see retest and then continuation to the downside. Now looking at the 4-hour perspective on dollar yen, as you can see, this is an overextension to the upside from this level to this, from this resistance line. We could see that WTI initially testing this level and then dropping down to create a new lower low. So this is where, if we see that WTI has tested this level, created a long wick candle or a strong rejection, we can look for going short on WTI with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at US30. Looking at the monthly chart, we can see that from the monthly on US30, back to back 2 months very strong bullish move has made US30 to go up to create a new higher high. Now this month we can see that there is still not much volatility, but what I think that as it's a long-term bull market, we could see that US30 is still remaining bullish in the upcoming week. If we look at the weekly chart, we can see that this is the weekly move on US30, quite a few weeks of very strong bullish momentum, followed by, we can see that the price coming to this support level and getting rejected from a long wick doji. What I think that this week we might see the WTI retesting this level and then bouncing back up to create a new higher high. Now looking at the daily chart on US30, we can see that from the daily time frame, this is the daily support level, and with that daily support, what we can expect US30 to drop initially to this liquidity zone. Any break of this support, we can expect for the price to go ahead and to create a new higher high. So looking at the intraday perspective on US30, we can see that the market is consolidating in that area. We could see that the price is dropping down to break this support level, and with that break we can expect for US30 to give us suitable bullish trading opportunity. Any break of this low, swing low and support break can give us suitable entry for another bounce to the upside on US30. Now looking at the NASDAQ, looking at the monthly chart, we can see that from the monthly also this is a long-term bullish market, starting with this impulse, correction, impulse. So far we see that this month in the first 2 weeks initial drop, and then we can expect for the price to go ahead and to create a new higher high. So if we look at the weekly chart on NASDAQ, we can see that from the weekly this is an impulse followed by a narrower correction, and we can expect for the price to create a new higher high. This week we see that so far a bullish move, and what I think that in the upcoming week after a pullback we can expect continuation to the upside towards its long-term uptrending direction. Now looking at the daily chart, this is the daily impulse followed by a daily doji. Now this daily doji, if we look at this daily support, as you can see, whenever the price breaking the daily low getting rejected. So what I think that NASDAQ is going to test this level again and then continuation to the upside to create a new higher high. So if we look at the 4-hour, we can see that from this 4-hour time frame, this is where this is the support level here, support level here. What we can expect on NASDAQ for the price to drop to this level to create a new lower low or retest this level and then continuation to the upside to create a new higher high. So this is where we can look for potential buying opportunity on NASDAQ. So these are the instruments that you will be looking to trade in the upcoming week. In addition to that, any instrument showing significant trading opportunity, I will be posting analysis and updates on the social medias. With that being said, guys, if you enjoy this analysis, make sure that you like, and also if you want to learn the strategy that I am trading and also be part of this trading community, also you can join us. Link below this video in the description area. You can visit the website, click join now button, then you will be able to access all the strategies as well as all the trade that I am opening in Forex Trading Wizard Academy. With that being said, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.